This lesson is a waves lesson. So here in the previous topic we studied about simple harmonic motion, that is particle oscillating in isolation. Isolation means this is free from other particles. We study about only one particle which is undergoing simple harmonic motion. Suppose if you take different particles here, if all are vibrating, so these are not in isolation here because so many particles are there present here. But remember students, there exists an elastic force between these. So if one of the particle is vibrated, so each and every particle is binded with another particle with elastic force here. So due to this, if one of the particle here is vibrated or oscillated, then what happens? These oscillations will be transferred to the neighboring particles, and these oscillations will be transferred continuously like this. So this is called disturbance in that medium. So in the previous topic we studied about a simple harmonic motion or oscillating particle in isolation. But in waves, if so many particles which are very nearer to each other and each binded with elastic force, then if one of the particle in this system is vibrated, these vibrations or these oscillations will be transferred to the neighboring particles such that the entire medium will be disturbed. This disturbance produced in a medium which travels from one point to another point is called wave. So this is a similar concept to that simple harmonic motion. That means each and every particle vibrate about its mean position only. So wave can be defined as the disturbance produced in a medium with each and every particle in that medium will be under simple harmonic motion, and the total disturbance will be traveled from one place to another place with some speed here. Wave is defined as like this. Now for example, this is the disturbance produced in a medium without actual physical transfer flow of matter. This means matter will not flow from one place to another place, only the disturbance will flow. Now suppose let me take calm water here. This is water which is at rest. Now if you drop a small pebble or small stone into this one, that means you are disturbing this medium. So here it consists of so many lakhs of or crores of water molecules here. So when we are disturbing one of it, this motion will be disturbed and it will be transferred to the other particles. That means the motion of one particle water molecule will disturb the motion of the other water molecule surrounding this. So due to this, what happens? You can see the waves appears to like this, and the disturbance will be traveled in the form of circles here. These are the circles that are formed around the disturbance produced here. So this outward motion is known as wave here. Now if you observe this one, if you keep a small, if you put one small cork here on the surface of the disturbed water, the cork will move up and down here. Cork will not move along the wave, it will move just up and down. That means the disturbance will produced here, which is created, will travel from one place to another place. This is the direction of motion of the wave here. The disturbance is moving in this direction. But remember students, when the disturbance is moving in this direction, but the cork is not moving along its direction, that means cork is moving up and down. So this wave is also moving up and down here. So here we can say there is no actual movement of the physical matter. That means the mass, the water mass will not travel. Water mass will not travel. Will not travel, but that the disturbance will travel here. The disturbance that is produced, which is created, disturbance is created, and this is created disturbance is traveling here. So due to this, so we can define this as without actual transfer flow of the matter is called a wave. Waves generally divide into two types. One is a mechanical wave. The second one is a electromagnetic wave, which is also called a non-mechanical wave. So what is this mechanical wave? A wave which requires a material medium for its propagation is called mechanical wave. So requires material medium for its propagation. So that means they cannot travel through vacuum. So example for mechanical waves are sound waves or mechanical waves which cannot travel through vacuum. Similarly, the water waves also require that water. The seismic waves which produced during earthquakes also require material medium. So any wave that requires a medium for its propagation is called a medium, is known as a mechanical wave. But what is this electromagnetic wave or non-mechanical wave? So the name itself, as it is mechanical, this is non-mechanical, does not require any material medium for its propagation. And example for this electromagnetic waves are, we have this electromagnetic series which are X-rays, gamma rays, UV rays, visible waves, infrared, micro and radio waves. These are all known as electromagnetic waves, and these does not require any medium for their propagation. But other than these two, mechanical as well as this electromagnetic, we have third category of waves which are known as matter waves. The waves associated with matter are known as matter waves. That means here electron is a particle, but sometimes electron can behave as a wave, and proton is also a particle which behaves as a wave. Neutron as well as these atoms of these atoms or molecules, these are also actually particles, but these are matter waves. That means sometimes they behave as particles and sometimes they behave as wave. But here in our first PUC waves lesson, we are going to concentrate only on the mechanical waves, and in second PUC we will learn about these electromagnetic waves as well as matter waves separately. So this lesson is about mechanical waves. If you take different springs which are connected in series here, 3 different springs, and one end is fixed to a support. Now, if the spring is elongated here, then automatically when the first spring is elongated, we are applying force only on the first spring. The second spring also elongates here, even the third spring. And if you elongate this one and release, then this spring will vibrate about its mean position. Similarly, this disturbance will travel through the connection here, and the second spring also undergo this simple harmonic motion, and also this third spring. That means the disturbance created in one of the spring will be transferred to the other springs here. That means this disturbance we call it as wave here, waves produced in a spring. So waves always transport energy from one point to another point. So this is the first point, main point that we have to remember here. Similarly, when we are speaking something, that means speech is nothing but a sound wave. Sound wave. So when we are speaking, we are disturbing the medium between the person who is speaking and the listener. So in a sound wave, what happens? Let us say this is the air between the listener and the person who is speaking here, or we call it as a speaker here, observer or listener here. So in this case, what happens when we are sending this energy, when we are disturbing the first layer of these molecules, the molecules will undergo some compression here. So compressions and rarefactions will take place. Compressions and rarefactions will take place in the sound. So this energy will compress some of the molecules. Due to this, some molecules will be under less density or less pressure, and like this. So here in a sound wave, what happens? The force applied here will create the change in density. Change in density. So density will change. We know that density is equal to mass by volume. The same particles which are having some mass will be compressed here. That means volume will decrease. So density will increase. So in this compression region, so in this compressed region, let us say this is a compressed region where the molecules are coming closer. So let me draw the same diagram here. Same number of molecules. In this region, some of the molecules will be compressed here. So compressed means the molecules will have same mass but in less volume. But some more molecules will be having less density. So this is called a rarefaction region. So once again we will have a region where molecules are compressed here. And rarefaction and compressed here. So these are called compressed regions. These are called rarefactions. So whenever a sound wave is traveling through air, so the air molecules or some of the region will be under more pressure and some of them are at less pressure. Here, first of all, the density changes. Why? Because in the same volume, the mass is more here. In this, let us say these are all equal volumes. So mass is more, means here in compressions, density is more. But here in the same volume, mass is less. So in this region, density is less. So we will have this change in density. So let me denote this as the dou rho here. So due to this density, what happens? There will be a change in pressure in these regions. So this is a change in pressure, dou P here. Dou indicates the change. So P is the pressure, dou rho indicates the density. So we know that pressure is equal to force by area. Whenever pressure changes, force changes. So pressure is equal to force by area. Whenever there is a change in pressure, so whenever pressure changes, the force also changes. This force we call it as restoring force. We know that this is directly proportional to displacement and opposite to this one. And this is the equation for simple harmonic motion. According to the requirement of the medium, waves are divided into mechanical and non-mechanical waves. But according to the direction of vibration of the particles in a medium, waves are divided into longitudinal and transverse waves. Longitudinal waves, transverse waves. So what are these longitudinal waves and transverse waves? The waves in which the motion of the or oscillating direction of the oscillations are parallel to the direction of propagation of wave. Let us say wave is traveling like this and the particles of the medium also propagates or vibrates about the mean position along the direction of the wave. So here the particles will vibrate about this is the mean position. So they will oscillate about the mean position in the direction of the motion of the wave. But in a transverse wave, if wave is traveling like this, the particles of the wave oscillate about the mean position perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. So here definition is a wave in which the direction of oscillations of the particles of the medium is along the direction of propagation of wave are known as longitudinal waves. Longitudinal means along the wave. So particles oscillate along the wave. Here transverse means perpendicular. So same thing, a wave in which direction of oscillations of the particles of the medium is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. So here oscillations of the particles of the medium are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. So here these waves will produce compressions and rarefactions are formed. Compressions and rarefactions are formed in a longitudinal wave, whereas in this the crest and troughs are formed here. Crests and troughs are formed in a transverse wave. A wave displacement relation of a progressive wave. Progressive means which is started or produced at a source and moving in a particular direction and never comes back to its original position is called progressive. So I am going to write the displacement relation for a progressive traveling wave. So it is a traveling wave. So the equation for the displacement of a progressive transverse wave, yxt, that is displacement in terms of x and t with respect to x and t, is given by a sine omega t minus kx plus phi. So what is the meaning of this equation here? Here, suppose if you keep t is equal to 0 here, when t is equal to 0, this equation y can be written as a sine minus kx plus phi. Similarly, if x is equal to 0, if t is equal to 0, this is a equation. If x is equal to 0, y will be a sine omega t plus phi. So this is the equation of a simple harmonic oscillator. Now first let me draw a wave here. This is the wave which is traveling in this direction. Now this is a sinusoidal wave. So this is just like a sine curve in our mathematics. So in a sinusoidal wave, here the displacement of the particle is a function of displacement of particle y is a function of distance x and time t. So here when t is equal to 0, y value is 0 because this is y here and this is x here. So when t is equal to 0, now y is 0, x is 0. Now after some time, when the wave is traveling in this direction, these are the vibrations of the particles of the medium. For our convenience, I am just taking only a transverse wave, crest and troughs here. So these are the particles which are vibrating in this direction, and these particles are vibrating in the downward direction, and these particles are moving in the upward direction. So different particles will have displacement in different magnitudes here. So here the displacement of y is 0. Here displacement is maximum, which is equal to a. Here minus a. Here this is less than a. So this y depends on this displacement distance traveled along the propagation of the wave x, and this is y here. So if you want to find out this y value depends on x and also depends upon the t. That's why while writing this one, the displacement of a progressive wave is given by y is equal to y in terms of x and t, or displacement as a function of x and t is given by a sine omega t minus kx plus phi. this is the waveform at a given time. So after some time, what happens to this waveform? So this particle which is having this much displacement will have more displacement after some more time, after a fraction of second. And this particle which is having this much displacement will be having the maximum displacement. This is amplitude, but it will be having less one. And here this particle is having zero displacement here along y-axis, but this particle, as the wave is traveling like this will have a negative displacement here. So the wave will change like this. So from time to time, different particles will oscillate with different displacement, but the amplitude will be same. That means this particle will oscillate up to here. So when I am taking a photograph of it, let us say this is the position of this particle and this is the position of the next particle. That means a constituent of this medium. Each and every particle will have its own displacement. So this displacement is not fixed. That means in each and every wave, the wave pattern will not be like this. If it is similar, that means always this particle will have maximum displacement. That is wrong. This particle is having this much displacement at this particular time. T is equal to 0. When T is equal to T dash and next particle, and this particle will have same position, will have less displacement. So after some time, the same particle here may have zero displacement also. This is maximum displacement, this is less displacement, and it may have zero displacement also. So at the same position, the particle will execute a synchronic motion about the mean position, which is perpendicular to the direction of motion of this one. So that's why it is called a transverse wave. Take the displacement of a progressive wave equation. Here this is called amplitude of the traveling wave or progressing wave. Here if you draw the graph for this sinusoidal curve, so you will get a graph like this. Here this is the maximum displacement. Amplitude is nothing but the maximum displacement of the particle. Maximum displacement of the constituents of the medium or of the particle of the medium. Now, in this case, if you see this origin, let us say this is the y-axis here and this is the x-axis here. Now, this particle is neither moving up nor coming down. So, displacement here is 0 here, y is equal to 0. So for this particle which is at this point, so these are the particles which are vibrating about the mean position here. So if you take different particles, this particle is having the maximum displacement. So here for this particle, the y value is equal to plus a here because this is a positive amplitude. But here if you take this particle and if you take this one, the displacement here is, here y is equal to 0 for this one. Here this displacement y is equal to minus a here. So this is the maximum amplitude here. Remember students, the displacement may be positive or negative, but amplitude is always positive here. Remember this point. Amplitude is positive. So why displacement is becoming negative? Not because of amplitude. This is because of this sign function. Why? Because we know that maximum value of sin theta, maximum value is plus 1 and the sin theta minimum value is minus 1. So because of this one sign argument, the displacement may be positive or negative, but amplitude is always positive. Remember this one. Don't say that here amplitude is negative. Here displacement is negative, amplitude is positive only. And this is called phase of the wave. That is, phase of the wave is nothing but omega t minus kx plus 5. This is called phase of the wave. So what it represents actually? The phase of the wave represents the displacement of the particle with respect to position and time. Remember students, here the particles are moving up here. This particle is moving up. These particles are in the upward direction, vibrating in the upward direction. These particles are moving in the downward direction here. But what is the direction of motion of the wave? These are particles are vibrating up and down, but wave is traveling in this direction along x-axis. So the position of the wave, when disturbance is created here, so let us say wave is traveling here. So this is the position of the wave. Here this is the position of the wave. This is the position of the wave. These are the position of the wave. This is the position of the wave. That means at as t is equal to 0, position is 0. After some time wave will travel up to here. So this is the position of the wave. After some more time position will be here. After some more time this is the position. So position of the wave is measured along x-axis. So position of the wave is measured along x-axis. Position is measured along x-axis, whereas displacement is measured along y-axis. Displacement is referred to the particle of the medium. Position is related to the wave. So position of the wave here, not the particle. Position of wave is measured along x-axis. Displacement is measured along y-axis. So in this equation, y is the displacement of the particle along y-axis. X is the position of the wave along x-axis. In this case, if t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, and this will be phi. So the phase will be equal to phi if t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. This is also called the initial phase of the wave. So initial phase of wave is also known as epoch here. So whenever this equation is there, this phi may be sometimes 0, then this equation can also be written as y is equal to a sin omega t minus kx only if the initial phase is 0. So there may be some equations or the waves in which the initial phase may be 0, then we need to write this equation as y is equal to a sin omega t minus kx. If you take this equation where phase is equal to 0, now let me write this equation as y is equal to a sin omega t minus kx here. In this equation, let us say if you take t is equal to 0, when time is equal to 0, this is the point. So after some more time, this particle will be somewhere here, this position will change here. We know that this is the crest of this wave, this is the crest of this wave. Now, this particle is having maximum amplitude, even this particle is having maximum amplitude. So if you consider this particle, which is having maximum amplitude, so after some time this particle is said to have maximum amplitude in the same direction, even though this particle is having maximum amplitude, but its direction is in opposite direction. So we will consider only particles having same set of displacement or same phase. The distance between two successive particles which are in same phase is known as wavelength of the wave. So what is wavelength here? Wavelength of the wave is given by denoted with lambda is the distance between two successive particles which are in same phase. This is the distance between two successive particles in same phase. Now you can see this crest and the next crest will be in same displacement. This is a displacement plus a, this displacement also plus a. But if you take one more particle somewhere here, let me take this particle somewhere here. So this is the displacement of the wave, and a similar particle can be seen somewhere here which is having the same displacement. So the distance between this and this which are in same phase is also called wavelength. Similarly, trough to trough distance is also wavelength. So wavelength is the distance between two successive particles in same phase. Now here in this equation y is equal to a sin omega t minus kx, this is also can be written as y is equal to a sin kx minus omega t. So both are same. Here only thing is this can be positive and this can be negative by substituting either t or x. So let me take, this is also a progressive equation. In this, let me keep t is equal to 0. If t is equal to 0, let me take y1 is equal to a sin kx because t is equal to 0. Now, after some time, this motion will be repeated as it is a sine function. So as it is a sine function, its motion will repeat here and once again repeats here. So now after some more time, y2 can be written as a sin kx plus 2 pi. So this is a sin kx plus 2 pi. We know that sin 2 pi plus kx is once again sin kx. That means y1 is equal to y2. Similarly, what is y3? A sin kx plus 2 pi into 2 here. This is 2 pi into 1. So this is 2 pi into 2, which is equal to this 720 plus kx will once again kx. That means the motion is repeating here. Similarly, yn is equal a sin kx plus 2 pi into n here. So after n similar positions, similar phases, the displacement will repeat. For example, let us say this is y maximum, this y is maximum, once again here maximum, once again here maximum, once again here maximum. So what is the phase difference between this point and this point? 2 pi. Between this and this, 2 pi. Between this and this, 2 pi. Phase difference, but distance is called a wavelength, but phase difference is 2 pi. So these are the multiples of 2 pi. Now I am going to write this as y can also be written as a sin, if you take this k common, x plus 2 pi n by k. So this is the equation of this wave. So by using this, by substituting n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, the y value will be repeated here. So the distance between two particles which are having same displacement is known as wavelength. So here you can write this as what is this displacement? Now let me take the displacement between this and this. So this is y1, this is y2. So what is the difference between these two? 2 pi. But here if you take this common term here, this is equal to 2 pi nk. So the 2 pi nk, if you substitute to n is equal to 1. So if n is equal to 1, this will become 2 pi into 1 by k, which is equal to 1 lambda. Why? Because distance between this and this is equal to lambda. Distance between y1 and y2 is equal to lambda. Distance between y2 and y3 is equal to also lambda. Distance between y3 and y4 is equal to lambda. y5 and y5 is equal to lambda. So if you take this one, the extra point here, extra term, this must be equal to 1 lambda or 2 lambda or 3 lambda or 4 lambda. Suppose if you take this point and this point. So from here to here, this is lambda and this is another lambda. So here lambda plus lambda, 2 lambda. 2 lambda. That means if n is equal to 2, then this value will become 2 pi into 2 by k, which is equal to 2 lambda. If n is equal to 7, this will become 7 lambda. So this is a constant and this is known as propagation constant. This k is called propagation constant here. So I am going to write what is that propagation constant. K is known as propagation constant, which is equal to, we know that 2 pi by lambda, k is equal to lambda. So k is equal to 2 pi by lambda. If you take a graph like this sinusoidal curve, which is this is the wave equation, the form of the wave. So this is represented by y is equal to a sin omega t minus kx. But what is the meaning of y is equal to a sine kx minus omega t? Same equation, but if you multiply this with the negative, you will get kx minus omega t. So omega t minus kx multiply with minus, this will become minus omega t plus kx, which is equal to kx minus omega t. So the same expression, same waveform, but in the opposite direction is this one. This is kx minus omega t. Now let me take this equation. This is sine y is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. So this is the equation of this given wave. Now let us say this is the point origin here. This is the origin. This is not the origin. So when this is the origin, so this is x-axis here and this is y-axis here. So for this one, when x is equal to 0, so now if x is equal to 0, y is equal to a sine kx, where x is equal to 0 minus omega t. So y is equal to a sine minus omega t. Y is equal to minus a sine omega t. So from the equation it is clear that y is equal to minus a into some sine value. So this is a negative here. So y value is negative. So it is clear that this one is a negative value. Displacement is negative. Similarly, the same displacement can be seen somewhere here. This is the displacement where once again y will become exactly this value. So for this to happen, for this particle, this is the equation. For this particle, the equation will be y is equal to minus a sine omega. This time will be after some time, that is after a particular time. The time taken by the particle to complete one complete oscillation here is called time period. So the time interval between this point and this point position is called time period. So that we denote with the letter t here. So now this can be written as y is equal to minus a sine. Here you can write omega t plus this is omega t. But we know that for this to happen, let us say this is the crust. The next crust will be formed after 2 pi radians. Similarly, this phase once again repeats after 2 pi radians. So this angle must be equal to 2 pi radians. So we can write omega t is equal to 2 pi radians. So time period is equal to 2 pi by omega. Here t is called time period of the wave, and omega is called angular frequency or angular velocity. Angular frequency, in some books or problems they may give it as angular velocity. And now this time period can also be written as time period is equal to 1 by frequency. Reciprocal of frequency is also called time period. But we know that omega is equal to 2 pi by omega is nothing but 2 pi f. If you can cancel these two, so obviously this t is equal to 1 by frequency, where frequency is measured in hertz and time period is measured in seconds. Hertz is nothing but per second.